Rose is the leading Hispanic voice in science fiction. Wait, no, that's not right. John De La Rose is a YouTuber, Holocaust denier.
Millions of Jews and
Yeah, it was probably more like 300,000.
And writer of comic books, regular books, and until recently, of articles for Christo-fascist propaganda platform Bounding into Comics. He's also the writer of this Fandom Pulse article. And this one, and it seems this one, even though it's credited to Daniela Acera. He once accidentally showed himself logged into a Twitter account under that name. But it isn't yet seriously competing with the classic. Bounding into Comics suffuses practically every new thing, woke, bad video on the site. It's here, and here it is again, just in X-Men 97 videos. And if you've seen any of this content in the past, if you've watched any of my videos on YouTube Chuds even, you'll doubtless recognize the name. This isn't new, but you might not know the history, and that is worth breaking down just quickly. The site was created by this guy, John F. Trent, then a media manager for an online advertising company named Intermarkets. This was a decade or so ago, and Bounding into Comics was originally practically a blog, a hub for Comicsgate-related news items and discussions, before Trent saw the potential for, let's say, conservative-tinged comic book takes on the internet of the mid-2010s. And so Bounding into Comics took on the style of a bona fide news site, and in 2017, Trent, now styled as the site's editor-in-chief, managed to convince his then boss, Intermarket's Kevin Lucido, to buy the site and add it to his side project, Aurora Media Incorporated, a small network of clickbaity, right-leaning trash news sites. And if that's given any of you deja vu, it's probably because you're recognizing Lucido and Intermarkets from their real claim to fame, serving as the long-time advertising partners for the infamously biased Drudge Report, which, fun fact, is also the place where Andrew Breitbart got his start. Lucido's Drudge partnership wasn't a standard, run-of-the-mill business thing, either. No, he'd written in as a reader to pitch a better monetization method. Oh, and it's not a one-off either. Per BuzzFeed News, Lucido's Intermarkets also represents other conservative publishers. Worth noting, maybe. But yeah, now Bounding into Comics had backing, and this was right around the time that a bunch of our other favorite guys in this space started getting more and more success, scaling up production and so on. Probably a coincidence, but who knows. Riding the Chud boom in the wake of The Last Jedi and through COVID, Bounding into Comics was able to establish maybe the thickest facade of legitimacy of all similar websites, through a combination of longevity, exposure, and the simple act of using terms and forms associated with traditional news media, always an effective shortcut to borrowed legitimacy. The site was able to use this to do many things, like pushing the homophobic groomer panic, like playing defense for white nationalists like Vox Day, and yes, like providing sources that scan at a glance as legitimate to be flashed on screen behind practically every member of the then rising, now current class of right-wing YouTube commentators. Its reputation continues, hence all those guest spots in videos, but as always, there are others less concerned with hedging. See, for instance, the last major news piece that did the rounds, this one from The Blaze. I do want to note that this is another prominent news-style outlet being shared and consumed during outbreaks of nerd discourse, and to note that like Fandom Pulse and John De La Rose, like the growth of Bounding into Comics out from an online monetization company, Blaze's reporting is not a neutral, disinterested examination of pop culture, because this is Blaze. The Blaze that gave Tomi Lahren her start before her Fox tenure. The Blaze involved with Proud Boys founder Gavin McInnes. The Blaze that was founded by and is still indirectly owned by Glenn Beck, the conservative pundit, the birther. Yet again, trace the new media went woke fear-mongering back far enough, and you get to a conservative who financially benefits from that culture warring success. But that isn't quite where the connection game ends.
You know, they're all the Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy theories, which I'm probably too fascinated by, because it felt like there was some crazy stuff going on that they were able to cover up.
And still are.
But then, man, doesn't the fact that we're still talking about Jeffrey Epstein tell us how hard it is to come up with anything else?
No, because there's no answers for the Jeffrey Epstein thing. There's been no consequences other than Ghislaine Maxwell going to jail and Jeffrey Epstein allegedly committing suicide, which I don't think he did. Mm-hmm. Other than that, what are the consequences? They were able to pull off this thing, some sort of operation. Who knows who was behind it, who knows what was the motivation, but it clearly has something to do with compromising people, which is an age-old strategy for getting people to do what you want them to do. You have things on them, you use those things as leverage, and then next thing you know, you've got people saying things that you want them to say, and it moves policy, changes things, you get things done. That they did that,
Yes.
and no one, and we know they did that, and yet no one is asking for the tapes. No one's asking for the client list. We're in the dark, still.
And probably, I don't know, man. I spend too much time thinking about all the Epstein variants. It probably the sex stuff is overdone and everything else is underdone. It's like a limited hangout. We get to talk about the crazy underage sex and not about all the other questions. It's like when Alex Acosta testified for Labor Secretary, and he was the DA who prosecuted Epstein in 08, 09, and got him sort of the very light 13-month or whatever sentence. And it was South Florida DA or whatever he was. And Acosta was asked, why did he get off so easily? And under congressional testimony when he was up for Labor Secretary 2017, it was he belonged to intelligence. That's
yeah.
And then and so it's the question isn't about Israelis or the Mossad or all this sort of stuff, and I've come to think that was very secondary. It was obviously it was just the U.S. If you're working for Israel, you don't get protected. We had Jonathan Pollard; he went to jail for 25 years or whatever.
But unrelated, right?
Understood, but
this is one particular operation.
But it was if it was an intelligence operation, the question we should be asking is what part of the U.S. intelligence?
Right.
X-Fighter Bed, the only adult bed that lets you sleep like a hero. Slip on the all-black Starfighter helmet with built-in sleep apnea hose, set the gentle body massager, and keep midnight snacks close in the underbed mini fridge.
Fight for your dreams, X-Fighter.
What up? Hello. Man, my camera is lagging suddenly, like right out of the gate. Well, that's kind of weird. All right. Hey guys, everybody hear me okay? Welcome to the Shillcast. This is where we do the shilling. And today we'll be shilling for, the greatest fucking writer ever. Mauler. Okay. I don't want to hear any bullshit. I don't want to hear any fucking like snide remarks trying to talk shit in chat or anything like that, and I definitely don't want to hear anything from this guy, pillar of garbage. Let me get your shirt on here. What the hell? All right, there. Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Yo. Can you hear me? Am I coming through? Yeah. Nice. What the fuck is up, pimps? Type pillar of garbage in chat, and you win a. Actually, nothing. Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, nothing. Good, man. This is actually the first time I've spoken to you face to face, so that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Turns out I'm not a PNG. After all. Thank you.
I mean, that was pretty fun to animate that though, to add a little mouth one time, and
yeah.
But how's it going, man?
Yeah, I'm all right. I put as my little subtitle here in his hermit era because I'm sort of if there's any of my viewers in chat, you might know it's been a minute since I uploaded anything. I got stuff cooking. I've got so much cooking. It's crazy the amount I've got cooking.
Yeah, Mauler did actually use his real name for the writing thing, although they seem to have gotten it wrong in a couple of spots, maybe. But that's
let me check a link in my Discord. Get some of my guys over.
Yeah, hell yeah. No rush. We chilling. Were you the Boys watcher?
I'm kind of doing the thing with the boys that I did with Game of Thrones, which is always think, yeah, I should watch this, but everyone's already talking about it, so I've kind of missed the boat. And then I feel that way really early on in the run, and then I just kind of progressively feel worse and worse about my decision. But at some point in the next 10 years, I will very, very, very possibly watch both of these things.
Well, I got to tell you, both of them. I mean, it seems like, and this, something I kind of want to get into. Maybe I need to do an investigation on this, really, but there's some weird shit going on with this final season of The Boys, where I will admit that it has not been as good since season 3, basically.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it's been bad. It has not been bad. It's just I remember at season 3 just being like, holy shit, this is just firing on all cylinders. The writing was sharp. Everything was just really good. And then it ended like the final episode aired, or I guess was streaming now, and I thought it was pretty solid. I thought that it did everything that you would expect it to do if you've been watching the show for 5 seasons. It had some surprises and generally pretty good endings for everything. And I guess there's some stuff that could be said about some of the things that were left open, obviously because they're connected to future plans with the franchise. But it is there's just this large contingent of people on the internet that seem to just be thinking that this last season is somehow far worse than anything before it, and that Eric Kripke, who they all claim to be fans, like, I love this show, and now it's shit, and Eric Kripke is a hack, and it's like one of those things where it's like, how is he a hack now, but he wasn't for 3 or 4 seasons? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I have it on very good authority that season 4 was bad as well.
That's what I've heard.
I mean, hey, the guy I watched, I don't think he actually watched the show, so take that with a grain of salt. But I watched a YouTube video, and the guy in it was super angry about The Boys season 4. So
I watched a video. We reacted to a video on my stream Friday night, and it was this guy that's like says he's been a fan since the beginning, but he's like basically his whole thing was Eric Kripke is evil, because of the things that he puts in the show. So like, and he would show, examples of like, the like I just had in the intro with Homelander, like the dog is having a dream that Homelander's saying, "You're gonna fuck me," and it's like, do you not see, how do you watch the show for 3 or 4 seasons and then suddenly decide that something like that is evil? It's in line with the show. You know what I mean?
Well, basically, if a piece of art contains like something bad, that kind of means the person who made it is like evil.
He literally says that. He says,
I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. That's how it works.
He talks about horror movies, and he's like, and he shows like scenes from a Saw movie, and he's like, whenever somebody writes a really messed up horror scene, that means somebody was thinking about that, and that means they probably are like think about that all the time or something. It's like, what are you talking about? Do you not know how writing works?
Everyone should just make sure both their conscious and their subconscious only falls within the very kind of narrow accepted realms of like kind of polite North American middle American society. And then that's, I don't know how we get there, and I don't know what we do afterwards, but for a moment that'd be, I think we'd really be cooking with something.
So there's that. And then obviously, while we're all here, I mean, you wouldn't be here talking about a show that you don't even watch. That's not why you're here. Okay.
Of course not. Meanwhile, talking about the main thing, which I also haven't watched. I'm not here to review anything. I'm just here to provide some color commentary on the proceedings.
No, yeah, it's I mean, I have seen a little bit. I watched a little bit of it, and I read some of the transcript on YouTube just to kind of because I mean that's what really matters is the actual literal writing of a thing, and if the literal writing isn't completely logically consistent, then it's objectively bad.
If we can't boil a kind of multi-dimensional piece of media down to a very sort of one-dimensional judgment of the script, then what are we even doing?
I've often said that the way that they might as well just like create a new version of watching movies for themselves, and it just be like the script just kind of like scrolling along the screen, and they just stare at
I'll tell you what you should do. All you need to do is you need to copy the like TXT file, put it into ChatGPT, ask it if it's good or not, then bam, you don't even have to watch it. Sorted. Thank me later.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, AI is that good. It can give us an objective answer.
Exactly.
I mean, objective. Yeah. I mean, how would we not be objective? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no other way to be other than, give our objective opinion. Save that from a long time ago. I was gonna try. I tried to name the Shillcast that, and Bob Chaos didn't want it. So yeah, but I pulled it out of mothballs, out of storage. Yeah. So wait on. I think Ryan is going to show up. Nothing But Media said he wanted to, so we'll wait on him. In the meantime, what have you got going on?
Oh, what do I have going on?
Yeah, I mean,
I have 3 things that I'm kind of actively working on at the moment. The the most recent thing is probably also the first thing that's going to come out. Are you hip to this whole like the Spider-Man stuff that went on a few weeks ago? Joe Russo saying some shit about Civil War. Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't hear that.
So basically, all the kind of comic booky news sites ran some articles because Joe Russo did an interview. Obviously, for people in chat who might not know, one of the directors of Captain America, Civil War, Winter Soldier, Endgame, blah blah blah, all of these films, the upcoming Avengers Doomsday. He gave an interview and he mentioned in it that like they thought when they were making Civil War that this Spider-Man actually wasn't responsible for Uncle Ben's death because like. If he was, then that's kind of really dark, man. That's kind of really dark, and they just wanted to kind of like fun, cool Spider-Man. Have you seen the film Civil War, Dane?
You mean not like about the actual Civil War, but the one?
Oh, not the one about the photographers, the Captain America one where they punch each other.
I've seen it. Yes.
Do you remember in that point where Spider-Man basically says to Captain America, "No shit, fuck," where he says to Iron Man some shit like, "Oh, if you don't do the bad things, then they happen because of you."
Yes, which is a slightly less awkward and clunky version of what Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's less bad than the.
It's still not the thing.
That's what's at stake here, Peter. It's not choice, responsibility.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about
give
you a lecture on responsibility, and that's what Uncle Ben does. No, I mean he'll get there eventually in No Way Home, right? But
well, that's the interesting thing. It's like there's this suggestion. It's a loose suggestion, but it's a suggestion nonetheless. I think in Spider-Man Civil War that something like the origin story has played out, and then I thought weirdly, I made a video about this a few years ago. I was too soon for the No Way Home mid like trend. Like people think it's mid now. I was like ahead of the curve on that.
God, it's not a good movie.
Yeah,
I mean, it's weird.
It's what it is. It's pretty good, but like it's kind of weird. And like one of the weird things is
really notable whenever you're not watching in a theater. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah.
Might as well just have like a Chiron comes up and it's like, look, kids, it's Andrew Garfield or whatever.
Exactly, right? And part of the weirdness is like, for me at least, is the way it redoes an origin that like is presumed to happen off screen, is the way it kind of brings in, the past, maybe to the detriment of the present. And for me, there was a real kind of harmony with like Joe Russo's attempt to say, no, that thing that like we implied happened in Civil War didn't happen actually. And like to kind of the idea that maybe this is a kind of retrospective shoring up of No Way Home's general approach ahead of Doomsday, which is kind of doing, also bringing guys back. And that got me thinking about some stuff I've been reading recently about, well, basically, to cut a long story short, the video's working title is, let me scroll up, I've got it on my second screen, Joe Russo and the MCU's Zombie Cinema. And basically, it's kind of like my attempt at providing a little bit of theoretical backbone to the idea that maybe movies shouldn't just be like kind of cameo fests and references the whole way down. Maybe we should like not do that. I'm really excited about it. I think it's really, I feel like I've just written it like yesterday and today, and I feel like I've been cooking the whole time.
You may be onto something, and if it turns out that that's just something that audiences don't want, then I think that there's a big opportunity to prove that coming up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I like to think that because I am a fan of Infinity War and especially Endgame. I like the way that that was all folded in together and everything, and thought it was pretty masterfully done.
Those are good because they if not a total ending, they're kind of comfortable with the idea of ending, right? Yeah. And that's one of the reasons that really fit into this mold I'm trying to develop. But yeah, carry on.
Well, I mean, I think I'm it's hard for me to give much of a shit. I've gained more of a shit to give lately. But like there was a while there when I literally made a video that was like I was like, I don't care about Doomsday, and it's not because of the movie itself. It's because of everything else going on in the fucking country and in the world. Yeah, and it's hard for me to like expend energy on being like, I'm so excited for this movie, guys. Yeah. But I've since then I've lightened up a little bit. Started meditating again, so that helps. But yeah, it's I'm hoping that it's going to be a worthwhile use of these characters, right? That the story is going to be worth it, basically.
Yeah. Obviously, I hope it's good. And like despite the world being kind of not so good at the moment, I've enjoyed some of Marvel's recent stuff. Wonder Man was great. Daredevil Born Again, I really liked. But like, I don't feel great about Doomsday just because of all the reasons that it feels like it's making a choice. Like, which way Western man. You've got kind of attempts at newness versus attempts that kind of ringing.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's
nostalgia
like
out.
whatever happens in this, it's like, are we then going to kind of actually make an effort to reset and not continue doing this? Because there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah,
really after this.
exactly.
Anything after this is going to just seem
it's doubling down. Yeah.
Like this is going to be, if they pull this off and actually manage to make a movie or two decent movies out of this, that's going to be a fucking hat trick. And they need to just like go, okay, that's it. We need to actually just go back to making regular movies. You know? And just write them very well, make them good. Because if you, and what's another thing is like, even if these are very good, could we just see a repeat of what happened with the Hollywood, with the studio system in general, where because they're successful and good, every other franchise is like, oh, now let's start doing our version of that shit, and it's like, I mean, you end up with another Dark Universe or something like that. They're like, what if they try to bring back the Dark Universe? Like, remember that, guys? Remember the Dark Universe? We had
the ultimate, yeah.
We're gonna bring all the characters back that you never got to see. I don't know.
It sort of feels like Marvel is kind of doing a version of that, though. Like, one of the big things I'm realizing while writing this video that is a great example of some of the stuff I'm talking about is Deadpool and Wolverine. And like, they want us to feel kind of nostalgia when he's introduced. Like, there's a kind of an applause break sort of semi sort of moment for Channing Tatum's Gambit, who was never anything, right? It's like manufacturing nostalgia that doesn't exist.
They lampshade that fact, though, so it's kind of like,
I know, but you lampshade it.
It's like, just because you're clever enough to lampshade it, does that mean that we should ignore this? I don't know. It's the same thing with even just Wolverine, because like that's not, despite what Mauler couldn't comprehend this in his review of it, but like that is not the same Wolverine that we've seen before, right?
No, well, it sort of is and it isn't, right?
It is, yeah. I mean, it's different. It's not Logan Wolverine, right? It's not that.
No,
one.
like in character, at least it's definitely not Logan the film Wolverine.
Right.
It's a different character. If we're getting technical and in the diegesis of the film and when thinking about character arcs and stuff like that, but like in terms of getting people into the cinema, right? It functions in a way as the same Logan.
See, this is true. Like, I mean, at the same time, I appreciate that level of it, because I also appreciate the joke about between Deadpool and Blade, because you've got to know the lore, behind the scenes lore of Blade Trinity and their experience making that with Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes being kind of a dick and not liking him and stuff like that, because they made that into a joke into the movie. So, and I actually do appreciate that level of But
and even in a video like this, I don't mean to say that like any of this stuff is not like fun on some level. Of course it is.
No,
I think there are stakes to some of that fun.
There are stakes, and with the multiverse stuff, it is like they're trying to have, they're like, this is a different version than the one you're used to, but you're gonna we still want you to clap like a seal for it anyway, and it's kind of a, I don't know,
Wolverine.
I feel like a lot of people soured on the multiverse stuff way sooner than I did. I started seeing people saying that like, this multiverse shit sucks, the multiverse saga is no good or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know. I kind of feel like I've been waiting for this as a comic book fan. I was really excited about this.
I mean, the only criticism I really have of the multiverse is like, I feel like they didn't commit properly to it. And then as soon as stuff, started going bad with stuff like Jonathan Majors and people not loving the Ant-Man movie and stuff, they then pivoted to a sort of weaker, less interesting version of it that is, a mechanism for cameos and universe collisions and all this sort of thing.
Hey, we got Ryan joining us. All right, so
what's up?
Hello. Talking about some Marvel flicks and stuff, man. Before we go on to talk about real cinema,
apologies, I'm late.
Technical problems. One of the worst studio films in American history, and I mean, I feel like most people aren't that down on the MCU. I mean, no, I don't see how that could be. Yeah, I don't see that being the worst studio movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad studio films in American history.
I mean, I feel
the
like
criticisms I have of it like aren't to do with it being a bad film,
right?
In that way, you know what I mean? Like it's other stuff. Like I always think asking the question, is this film good or is this film bad? It's like the least interesting question you can ask.
Yeah, and that seems to be the only thing that some people want to. That they start with that, and then everything else is built around that. right? Like if it's bad, then okay, now we're going to sit here for several hours and talk about everything that's bad about it.
Yeah.
But you know,
or like go into minute detail on things that in another film that they liked wouldn't bother them at all.
Yeah.
But because they don't like the film, they then start analyzing it sort of on a microscopic scale and say, "Well, I didn't like this thing about it." It's it's very weird.
And a movie dies if you pull it apart on that level because it's not supposed
True.
to be watched as a sequence of frames and a sequence of plot beats.
Truly.
Wait,
yeah.
can I before I finish shamelessly self-promoting, can I like put a frame from the next video after that I'm releasing like in the Discord and you chuck it up on stream?
Yeah.
He's so polite, isn't he?
Right. I mean,
you
guys need to I'm kind of outnumbered here. You guys got to be a little bit more dicks because I feel like I can't keep up with your niceness. Okay.
All right,
well, he's a lot
drop
nicer than me,
any second.
Oh wow.
Confirmed genuine pillar of garbage frame from a video that'll be coming out in a couple of weeks.
Little secret sauce, little teaser.
If there's anyone that's ovulating, I just recommend you
stay away.
Turn off of this this stream, please. It's not, you don't want to end up pregnant. There we go.
It makes sense in context. It makes sense in context is all I'm going to say.
Can we have a context, like any context for this?
This segment of the video is about urbanism. Is that helpful in any way?
Sure.
Oh, what could be more urban than cycling indoors?
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, yeah, clearly in the countryside as well.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm interested to know, because I don't think I've ever come across this, is what do Americans call the room that you're in now?
Oh, that's a good question.
Sunroom.
Ah, interesting.
What do you call it?
About that?
Conservatory.
Oh, yeah, we don't call it that shit at all.
Well, yeah, no.
Yes, the Master 6873 or whatever those numbers are. I am riding a stationary bike.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope it's not just a regular bike because whoever is taking the photo.
Then I'm about to crash into the camera like the movie with the train.
Thank you, Sketchy. It's a sunroom. Yeah.
Sunroom.
I mean, is it not? Does it?
Sunroom is a call out in the Counter-Strike map cache, and it's nothing else.
Okay.
The weird
One
thing
person
is,
watching this just went, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe 40 years ago, I think, like when my parents moved house, we would have places called sunrooms, but I don't think it ever took off here. So they tried to introduce it as a fancy way of saying conservatory.
Do you guys have something called a mud room?
No.
Because that's the southern thing mainly. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong there. I think it's mudroom being
can't be what it is.
Where you come in from, like if you're coming in from outside and you take your wet or muddy boots off in this room and leave them in there. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
There's actually one of those in this house. I'm staying with my girlfriend's parents currently. They've got a mudroom, but it's not.
So this is not the digs that YouTube gets you.
Well, YouTube got me so few digs. I'm kind of in negative digs from the YouTube money. Hence why I'm staying with my girlfriend's parents.
Conservatories are actually pretty common, but mudrooms or I don't know what we would call them. I don't think we call them anything really. I know like some people have them where they keep the washing machine and the dryer.
Yeah,
like you call that the utility room, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's just context dependent. Like if your mud room is a utility room, you say the utility room. If it's a second kitchen or something, you say, hey, take your shoes up in the second kitchen.
I would not say second kitchen. That's such a weird way to say that.
Here's a class distinction, which I don't think you have in America, because I think mostly you have the washer and dryer in a separate room. But
usually, yeah.
If you're middle class or above, then you have your washer in a separate room. If you're working class, like what I am, you have it in the kitchen, which freaks people out if they're.
I had an apartment in Austin for a while that had like a kind of stacked washer and dryer, and they're kind of small versions too. And they were just like kind of stuck in this double wide closet. I think the goddamn water heater was also in that closet, so all just stuffed into a closet there in the kitchen. It was weird. But-
If you're renting in London like I was, you have to wash your dryer in the kitchen / office / lounge / dining room.
And it doubles up as your
It's
bed.
just one room. Yeah.
Two kitchen, two furious. That's a good one. Too good. All right. Well, so we got I don't think that we should. I don't know. What kind of prep should we do, if any, to look at this 18-minute short film?
I think we should go in cold and then perhaps look
Okay.
at what others are saying across the interwebs.
So it is it's an 18-minute short film. I mean, the basics of it are that the objective things about this are that it is an 18-minute short film funded allegedly by money collected from Critical Thinker, collecting funds from the first what was this, the Drinkerverse? What do they call this shit that they're doing? I don't know.
The Objectiverse.
Yeah, the Objectiverse. Yeah, so it actually has one actor that is known. Is a known actor.
Actually, two.
Two?
You just the second one is slightly less famous.
Okay.
But he was in Lock, Stock with the other famous actor, and he played young Sherlock in The Adventures of Young Sherlock Holmes.
Oh wow.
I was really hoping you were going to say Young Sheldon.
Young
No.
Sheldon. So yeah, it's funny that you know what? Instead of talking about the behind the scenes video, we can maybe check that out after. But so we're let me know if you want to pause it. We should probably pause it frequently because I mean, in the spirit of the writer of the thing, and also just so we don't get copyright claim. Here we go. This is All in Good Time. All in Good Time, which is a very funny name to call it for Mauler to call his screenwriting debut. This is already better, pre-roll or pre-movie like branding than what was at the beginning of the Rogue Elements. I remember that.
I hate to do this already. Could you just go back to that last title, because there's something that I found weird.
I couldn't get it exactly.
That's okay. Right.
Wait,
Pause,
no.
pause.
I see what you're saying.
Pause.
Why
Give me
the fuck
spotlight.
is the crescent is a C on crescent, but there's also a C on creative? Why is that? Is that what you were looking at?
Yeah, that's the first thing that jumped out at me, and I thought maybe the first time I
Oh
missed
God. I wouldn't make this mistake on one of my YouTube videos, and there's always at least one mistake in them. This is like impressive. The first second is like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
right,
shit.
because like I've made lots of very embarrassing mistakes in my videos, but usually not the first damn visual in the thing. I've usually I will go over the first half of the thing a few more times than I do the rest of it, because by the time I'm to the last half, I'm like, I just want to get it done, and that's where I would slip up. But this is something I don't know, man. It's subjectively weird. That's just stylistically it's a mistake.
It's a choice. See, they've misspelled it there because they really put one C in.
Right. Wait, why is that? Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't want to nitpick. I really don't. But that is weird to format it that way, is it not? A film by all right. Maybe it's just me.
I'll give them the doubt. They're going for something. It's
Okay.
not immediately clear what it is, but some things.
That is a shot.
Is that haystack wobbling?
Is that what?
The haystack. There was something weird when the camera moved, and I hate to do this before we even get
Was
into
it wind
but
hitting it?
It no, it's like Well, I can't imagine it is. Or is it? It's a pile of mud, but instead, it just looks like it's not.
Like it's maybe AI or something. What? I mean, I feel like this is a pretty. I have no objection to this opening shot. It's like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Sure, where are we at?
It
What are we
just
doing?
looked weird. It looked like that sort of 3D process that isn't actually 3D, where the two objects were moving at different speeds. But maybe that was just my eyes. Say so in the comments if you thought so too.
Is this the Dark Knight score?
I don't think so. A sound alike.
Okay, there he is. That's him, guys. I guess I finally said it on my videos enough times that he kind of just decided, look, okay, everybody knows it already. I'm gonna go ahead and use it. That was my goal, was just to frustrate him until he. So I would say this: there are things just like with there's a few elements of the Rogue Elements thing that I think are pretty okay, and even have potential and are somewhat well done. I think that anything that is decently done in that, and I feel like from what I've seen of this anyway, same thing goes, is in spite of the story, the script.
Can I ask a question, some clarification? So Mauler, is he one of these guys that is a bit funny about the idea of themes, or is that more like the critical?
He doesn't believe in them.
He doesn't.
He doesn't believe.
Yeah.
He doesn't believe in themes, but the movie is called what? All in Good Time. We've heard ticking the entire time so far, and then we've just had a shot of a clock. I feel like he seems like he's trying to do a theme. Is all I'm going to say.
Well, we don't know. Maybe that wasn't in the script. This is. I mean,
yeah, maybe it was,
this could.
Maybe there was just they were rolling, and then just a clock just kind of rolled into. Yeah, these things happen, especially it's a low budget.
I mean, what I understand, the filmmaker. If anybody wants to look him up while we're watching, that'd be cool. But I feel like he's got some experience, and yeah. So maybe he's recognized that. Look, we can't just have people just talking.
Maybe he's sneaking a theme in. Yeah.
This is a audio visual format, medium rather, and so we should have like different things kind of playing roles in that. But
or maybe time just isn't the theme. Maybe that's just
Drinker does delve into themes. There's a couple of times whenever he literally kind of gives away that he's such a grifter about so much stuff. Like the one that's always stuck out to me was Everything Everywhere All at Once. Some of the ways that he just talks about that movie are ways that I agree with him. You know what I mean?
Doesn't
like,
he also love to assert that like all these films have themes of like female empowerment and shit?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, but that's not a theme. That's a message. Themes and message. Okay, yeah. Sorry, my bad. Are we doing the Dark Brotherhood recruitment quest from Skyrim? Okay.
Look, please help me! No!
Okay. Does anybody have any feelings about that?
Well, if we're being objective, the voice would be muffled more. So, continuity error, I think there. So,
filmmaker has, I forgot it. We looked at that one time. Outcast Creative sometimes streams with Drinker. Yeah. It's weird to like kind of plant your flag as being an outcast. In my opinion, it's a weird thing. It's kind of cringe. Old. It's like teenage stuff. But maybe that's just me. That guy's got a good look.
Jacked.
Ben Kingsley's looking good. Yeah. Man. So Okay, I won't spoil what I know, but yeah.
Hey, no, please. Please, all right. I've got valuable information. I've got information.
That gun effect, that sound effect is bad. Can I just say that? Is that nitpicking? That it doesn't sound good? Oh. She's going to be okay.
Well, it's a British gun, so it's
All right.
actually...
It's more polite. It's not so good.
Yeah.
Now listen to me, all right? Whatever you think I've done, whatever I've taken, I'll pay it back. Oh, so much more. You know money's not a problem to me, yeah? I've got those 2 little girls. That's right. It's not my fate. Yeah?
Question. Oh, you really didn't like that, Bogue.
Why?
They've skipped number 3. They've skipped number 3 there.
Well, it's weird.
It's like the Simpsons clip where it's from what's that fake movie that McBain's in? McBain, you know, where like the guy, they all rock up to the diner and they like shoot the guy 1 million times.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we're going to get any kind of answer at all or hint as to why these people were killed, whether they deserve to be killed, whether they did anything actually against this person, and why that guy in particular got shot multiple times in the chest rather than just once in the head?
Probably not.
Because I feel like I need to know that.
Well, the question I want to know is why skip number 3? Now, obviously, you could say that they know who number 3 is, so they've skipped him for a reason.
Yeah.
In which case, why not put him 4th when they're setting up the chairs? Just put him last. You're 1, 2, 3.
Maybe all will be revealed. I don't really think we need to know, too much backstory here. I think like this as kind of like a kind of tropey, establishing kind of gambit is fine.
You're right, Pillar of Garbage. You are right. I was being a little bit too nitpicky, and I'm going to retract my my what I said because it really doesn't matter. I don't think. Maybe it ends up mattering, but we'll see.
Still don't understand though why the 3rd person they avoid rather than just putting the 3rd person on the end.
Yeah,
as the 4th person, and then just go 1, 2, 3, stop, rather than 1, 2, stop.
I do want to disclose that based on the behind the scenes video that they uploaded or whatever, Mauler was not on set for this at all. They actually talk about it in that video that he's just an apparition. And so maybe if he was there, he would have called something out. He would have been like, "Hey guys, look, it's my big debut here. We can't have a guy getting skipped over to kill the 4th guy whenever." Yeah, who knows?
They've saved 3 last for a reason. I just make him the 4th one.
Yay, Jason Fleming! And the crowd goes wild, trying to feel like I know that guy, right?
It's the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen's Jason Fleming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lock, Stock, and 2 Smoking Barrels, and what else?
Snatch.
Yeah, wasn't he in that? Remember that Samuel Jackson movie where he made drugs and played golf or whatever?
It was called The 51st State here. I think it was called Formula 51.
Formula 51, yeah. Wasn't he in that?
I can't
feel like he was.
Been a while.
I mean,
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the person I recognise from other films and TV projects is not going to get immediately shot.
Yeah, probably. And that which one is that? That's going to be the guy that's doing the shooting or the henchman?
I mean Jason Fleming.
Okay.
I'm going to say.
Well, but you said there was another guy, right?
Yeah, the guy doing the shooting, I think.
Okay.
Based on where the henchman is.
That would have been my guess.
Yeah, I'm going to guess Jason Fleming's not just going to get shot in the head.
Yeah. And I mean it's notable. I think that we haven't seen him in a long time. Maybe I haven't anyway. Anything. Maybe he comes out in more Brit stuff over there. But just kind of notable because he probably didn't cost so much compared to what he might have.
I think it's important to know that with anything like this, that actors will do a job and their rate is based on sort of, this couldn't have been more than a day or maybe 2 shooting.
Yeah.
Well,
also,
so
isn't he kind of a wokey guy, or part of like some socialist group or something like that?
He certainly was in his youth. He was
Okay.
a member of sort of quite a far left socialist group, and I think he does some charity work now that is with prison reform. That is
That's cool.
pretty woke. So
Yeah, I mean that's good cause.
Anyway,
they say in the documentary that he was willing to charge much less. Okay. Good to know.
Well, clearly he's well acquainted with charity causes.
So we're it looks like we're about to get some dialogue, a little more substantive, hopefully dialogue at 3 minutes and 18 seconds. So let's see what happens. That's not how a gun sounds when it jams. Just saying.
I don't want your gun.
Now I'm really confused because he was just going to shoot him in the head straight away. So why did they bother saving him till last? Specifically saving him till last, if they were going to shoot him in the head.
It seems like a pretty simple error that just calls attention to the fact that he is the final guy that is going to play more of a role than just getting shot in the face.
If it is not revealed that this whole my gun's jamming is like a fake out and it's to psych this guy out, and like if we're supposed to believe this guy actually wanted to shoot his brains out.
Sorry about that.
And this is like the entire movie is surely like on a very compromised basis of kind of feasibility and contrivance, etc.
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally,
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is maybe it's a setup for something.
As we said, it was probably shot in a day or maybe 2. So things like that maybe just weren't the priority. And sometimes context does play into why things happen in a film, and maybe that should be considered sometimes whenever you're reviewing them, guys.
And I mean, obviously, I'm joking about the fact that the famous one survives because that's what happens. So I'm not that bothered by that. But I am hung up on the thing of why avoid him, only to then just go and shoot him in the head or attempt to shoot him in the head after saving him till.
Well, this is the point. Either this is like some 4D chess Giga Brain play from Mr. Interrogator to put this guy on the knife edge, in which case, yeah, fair enough. But if I'm the guy in the chair, I'm thinking, okay, you've done that on purpose. That to one side. If that's not the case, I got some questions, if I'm one of this film's backers.
Yeah. Well, let's find out.
You ape. Unless you want to sit in one of these chairs, fix mine. Now get that rat fuck Boyd to do it and clean this place up. Are you mute? Who were they? You have quite the exceptional opportunity to beg. I suggest you take it. Who were they? Do you want to die, little man?
I mean, isn't that a foregone conclusion? Weird thing to ask.
They were scum.
Oh.
Do you know what they did? I know. Enough. Most men are cowards. Enough to kill. Hey, can you focus? This isn't about them, it's about you.
Wait, hold on.
Most men are cowards. Enough to kill. Hey, can you focus? This isn't about them, it's about you.
Okay. Is it about him? What was this guy's plan if he hadn't been last? I don't know. It's just it is. I can't. I'm stuck on that now because it seems like
I can't tell. I can't figure out, Dan, if you're like just constantly chatting shit about this short film, or if you're like kind of being the little puppet master, kind of directing mine and Ryan's kind of expectations. You know, oh, is this intentional? Is this not? I'm on the edge of my seat here. This is like you're manufacturing this into a much more immersive cinematic experience.
I apologize. I can be quiet. I can be quiet.
No, it's fine. I'm enjoying it.
I'm giving my thoughts.
I'm enjoying the ambiguity.
Watches tick that loud. I mean, sure, why not? Look,
it's a theme. It's a theme.
I apologize for being too I don't know, EFAPy here. I'll pull it back.
Fine, no, it's just
Let me be clear. You are playing with borrowed time.
I mean, a minute ago, whenever I was like, wait, what? And I rewound it to check something else because I misunderstood what had happened. So that was completely on me.
No, that's fine. Look, you talk as much as you want. It's just no. I don't know if you've already watched this or not.
This is about where I've what I remember seeing last of it before I turned it off.
Right. Okay.
Keep it fresh. So yeah, I mean, and part of it is I'm trying to make sure that we just spend some time saying something instead of just letting things go through.
This guy said he's on borrowed time. Time is also the thing what watches do, and the thing what clocks do. And time is go click, 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 click.
And time is what
did you notice
what Mauler takes a lot of to do a review of anything, talk about anything.
And we can hear, like the person in the comments said, we can hear the ticking. So obviously that's an aesthetic choice.
It's true, man. Like,
so
look, I will just say this: the fucking lack of give a fuck about anything they're saying so far is profound. I'm just like, it's reminds me of what happened in the 90s in Hollywood after Quentin Tarantino, after Pulp Fiction, where there were a lot of movies that got made where they clearly thought they were doing a Tarantino, and even though it wasn't Tarantino in some of these movies, and that it just felt heavy-handed.
It's like cool line one, cool response, cool quip.
It's funny because that's sort of just when I was starting to do like drama and stuff, and so many like first-time scripts from teenagers and like college kids were all Tarantino rip-offs and Guy Ritchie rip-offs, and they were all about mobsters. So it feels very much in that zone of
the dialogue is really giving like, so that just happened, but like the previous thing before, so that just happened.
It seems like, if I'm comparing this to something like, I think probably the easiest popular film to kind of relate this to would be like Reservoir Dogs, from what I can tell so far. It seems like the dialogue in that is telling you something more about the characters, and it's like this is not really informing us about like the situation really. It's just, yeah, we'll see. I don't want to judge it too soon, but
from what we were saying earlier as well, it definitely feels like that gun jam was intentional now, based on this bit of dialogue that they've had, because otherwise you would start that scene with him not trying to shoot him straight away if you're intending to have this sort of badinage with him.
Let me be clear. You are playing with borrowed time. I do not benefit from this.
So
that was quick.
Did he go?
He brought the gun back already?
He went to go fix that guy's gun. Is that what happened?
Well, he told him to get the rat fuck boy or something.
Yeah, get the rat fuck boy. And then he said you told him to fix his gun too, right? Which is a weird. I don't know.
Oh no, it's just.
Is that guy leaking oil? What?
That's weird,
isn't it?
I mean, it might be that they're doing some sort of like color grading thing, but like intuitively, that doesn't feel like it matches the color palette of how the rest of it is shot. Like if we were watching in black and white, this would be fine, but we're not watching.
Well, I mean, like let me just make sure, because I'm American. Maybe you guys, do you have red or black blood over there? What, I don't know.
Well, only the
They read, yeah.
subcast, only the sewer people have the black blood over here. So maybe yeah, there's kind of context for us.
Yeah, it is pretty hideous. I don't know. Maybe there's something being said there with it kind of looking like Rorschach almost. No, never mind.
We just haven't seen that much blood come.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is trying to be realistic in the sort of, because when someone gets shot, there is a lot of blood, and so in that case it's realism, or if this is like again another aesthetic sort of artistic choice with the blood. But
it seems like an odd. This is definitely getting
maybe this
too
is
nitpicky, but it does
all
seem
happening
an odd
in an
pattern.
old abandoned like car garage.
Oh yeah,
right.
It just happened to be some oil.
Yeah, they just didn't clean it up.
Okay.
Is it a Rorschach test though? Because if it is, I can see a seahorse and an alien.
You see in the context what you project onto the context, right? This is kind of, it's really, this is what it is surrealist cinema, like at a basic level.
I do remember that movie.
A blank canvas.
Yeah, it's, we'll see. Maybe the black blood comes into plot somehow. He's really thirsty, guys. He's really thirsty.
He brought that from home.
All right, then. Who were they?
I don't know.
Then why
I didn't shoot them.
You have to know a man before you kill him.
It's best to know when you take.
Did you guys hear that? Or is that just me?
Yeah, I didn't know if that was just me. Take it back. It sounded like flanged.
I don't know.
Then why
I didn't.
That's fucking weird.
That can't be in like the master like audio for this film, right?
It seems to be. So this is downloaded directly from Mauler's channel.
Okay.
Something could happen in the download process.
Let me hop over to that channel. Actually, I don't want to kill my. Yeah, let me get in an incognito and hop over to.
I don't know.
Then why
I didn't.
It's like he's
What's
suddenly.
the time code?
It is 5:36. It sounds like he's becoming Gandalf in Fellowship whenever he's like, I am not some cheap conjurer.
What it sounds like to me is it sounds like the whole thing's been overdubbed, and that's some of the original audio, because presumably that barn's quite echoey.
Yeah,
but I don't know. If I had to guess, I'd say it's been everything else has been ADR'd, but surely you wouldn't do that. Surely you just.
I just didn't even know. That just feels like the sort of thing like maybe you're putting the final cut together and you forget that there's like an audio track from an older thing, and you just remastered the new thing and you put it in over the top, but like.
But that there should be like a level of attention paid to it before.
Yeah, I mean, we spotted this on our first watch, which kind of jumped out as obvious to all of us. Presumably, someone did proof watch this. Yeah. 5:16, you said.
36. 5:36. Probably go to 5:34.
Yeah, it's there on the YouTube upload. That's crazy work.
Weird.
Shoot them.
You have to know a man before you kill him.
It's best to know when you take.
I take what this filth throw away. Seems they have some buyer's remorse.
You disapprove? Is there a noble way of killing a man?
You're the one who tells the stories.
Tells stories?
Mm-hmm.
You rats all think yourselves unique.
You don't know anything about me.
And I would say this about any movie where this exact situation was happening. I don't feel like that keeping this guy alive and giving him this much attention has been shown to be warranted. You know what I mean? Like, why?
Yeah. Yeah, like, why is he not dead right now? I'm kind of rubbing up against, like, the way this guy's dialogue is stylized, right? The boss guy. It's so strange, because, like, this is more or less like a crime film, right? Like a crime short. Like, gangster kind of vibes. Obviously, not to be classist against gangsters, but in terms of like the kind of formal conventions of this genre of film, they don't talk like Shakespeare guys, you know? Obviously, this guy isn't talking like a Shakespeare guy, but like they don't talk like kind of, you know, arch sort of pantomime villains. And like it's fine if they do, like kind of Tarantino vibes, you know, they talk all kind of poetic, you know, in a writerly way there. But like I kind of feel like the other guy's begging for their life, the little henchman dude, and this like hostage guy, there's not like a sort of unified, like heightened style. So I'm kind of curious as to why we're seeing it with this bloke in particular.
Yeah, it's incongruous with the rest of the the milieu. And
exactly, the milieu.
I can't think of any other non-pretentious way of putting it. But and these two seem to be in a different film to the rest of the people we've met so far, even briefly.
It just seems like with we'll just leave it at that.
No, enough. I know you have to take them yourself. From prisoner to partner. Your father would be ashamed. What? What's left of the allies he made? The empire he built? You didn't know my father. His weakness is why his allies were able to walk all over this.
It's just continuing to compound the problem of like, why would this guy who was presumably a career, you know, mob guy, be giving him so much like attention and like energy, emotion? It just seems like you just fucking coldly killed 3 people who you believe are scum. I don't, you know, what is it about this guy in particular that is, I don't know. I feel like there could be something could have set that up a little bit better, but.
It feels like.
No, go ahead.
It feels like even though we've seen it from the start, that we've still come in at the middle of a conversation.
Yes, exactly. Like, maybe it's just my fucking borderline Gen Z, fucking vertical video adult Zoomer brain speaking, but like, I think when you have even like a stylized Pinterest conversation going on in a scene, like you have to manage how many threads there are and like how it veers from thread A to thread B to thread F, right? And I feel like this feels like a first draft of a conversation. I feel like we're kind of leapfrogging around a little bit. Like there's not really, it doesn't feel like there's much of a pathway through this interaction in a way that, yeah, maybe there wouldn't be in real life, sure, but like there would be in a film.
It's there's nothing being like actually right now, I guess I suppose I'm starting to feel like I'm learning something about this guy.
Yeah. Like why are we talking about this guy's dad or whatever? Like maybe that's relevant. Maybe this guy in the chair turned out to be like maybe there's some connection there. But like in terms of the conversation at this point, like it doesn't matter if it ends up paying off. It needs to have a reason to come up.
Yep.
Organization. And your method is so much more effective. How long have you been pouring your own drinks? The weakness is your lack of patience. You're a fool.
What is Brew yapping about?
And it won't be long before you no longer draw breath.
So like, I just a mob guy is not going to have this kind of like reactive to the very mention of his father kind of fucking you know, like and just sit here and listen to him like what the fuck. I'm sorry, it's just that combined with the thing that I was willing to overlook, like willing to say, you know what, I'm not going to hold that against it, the you know, him being fourth to be shot even though he was third in line, right? Combined with that, it just all comes off bad, you know.
It's all very convoluted, and I've got no objection to them speaking necessarily, not like what gangsters speak like, but because Pinter does that, like you were saying, Pillar Guy, it is very Pinter-esque, or an attempt at Pinter, but falling flat because it doesn't seem to understand why or how Pinter did the things that he did, the dialogue he does, which is, it's not easy. In his most sort of chaotic, it's not easy to necessarily understand Pinter, but this just doesn't get it at all.
Yeah, even if you don't like fully like follow all the threads, like you're carried along by it, right? This is just we've got the dumbwaiter at home.
And I will give a compliment. I will give a compliment that especially Fleming, but the other guy a little bit to a lesser extent, are doing a good enough job that is keeping me compelled to want to know more, right? Like I want to understand more than they're giving me, right? And I want it to be more coherent than it actually is, because they're at least putting a little something into it. So far, acting head and shoulders above anything in Rogue Element.
And the other thing I'd say about the Pinteresque sort of elements of it, like you said, yeah, it's very dumbwaiter-esque. But if you want to see somebody and sort of adapt a version of dumbwaiter that is sort of dumbed down slightly, but is still very, like In Bruges, for example, would be a film that is similar to the themes of dumbwaiter for anybody who isn't into Pinter or theatre.
And that's another one where, like, yeah, they're having these heady conversations, and like, it's about existence, and the gangsters are talking about God or whatever and sin and stuff. But like that film, it's great because it sort of creates this, I don't know, dreamlike sort of space for them to be in, like, and then everything kind of lifts off the ground slightly. And that's not the only way to do it, but like that's a way to do it, and you have to do something.
If you're so well informed, how come I'm sitting here and you're sitting there?
This was inevitable.
Inevitable? You have nowhere better to be? You have no wife? Kids?
Is there an elephant in there?
Any other kind of inevitabilities?
What kind of a man wouldn't?
It's just, I'm sorry, it's just like, the reason it's not going anywhere, and it just feels like you're just kind of bouncing up against different walls, is because it's all written to be like clever quip in response to your clever quip in response to your clever quip. There's what were you gonna say, Ryan? I'm sorry.
I cannot fathom what this part of the conversation is about. It's what question is he answering there?
We can rewind it. Let's see. Maybe we can. Maybe we missed something.
Breath.
If you're so well informed, how come I'm sitting here and you're sitting there?
This was inevitable.
Okay, so that's a question that it's a weird question for him to be asking in this situation, but I'll buy into the premise, right? The answer is it was an inevitability, and then the response to that is
inevitable. You have nowhere better to be.
What? He's here against his will, I think, right? What is the point of this? Jesus.
You have no wife, kids? Any other kind of inevitabilities?
What kind of a man wouldn't?
What does that mean?
That doesn't make any...
because he asks him like 3-4 different questions there, one of which is completely different to the others. You have nowhere else to be, and then you have no family.
Well, see, I can see those being related if he's kind of like asking the first part in like I guess a euphemism type of way, like you don't have anywhere else to be, is in like what do you have?
Yeah, like why are you here? Why did you end up in this spot?
Right. And so I can see that actually.
School run, yeah.
I'm willing to connect those. It's a little bit of work, but I'm willing to connect those two.
But it's the answer. It's the answer that he gives.
Right.
Is just
what kind of a man wouldn't? Younger men, I don't know, men who
someone who lives a different kind of lifestyle, yeah.
Right.
That's fine. I mean, it's fine for like the character to be not think much of people taking different life choices.
A bit of a maybe he's a what do they call him?
Piece of
breeder.
shit.
He's a breeder.
Also that, yeah.
Thing that keeps putting me off is that guy coming in and moving out those dead bodies. That really takes. There must have been a better way of doing that. Surely.
But it's cool. There's murder. They're in a murder scene. It's cool.
I suppose you've got to see. You've got to see it happen. Otherwise, everybody would be jumping on Mauler saying, "How did those bodies just disappear?" And he loves to have everything.
Well, I mean, let's think about this.
So.
These are presumably these are professional killers, or at least they do it as part of their jobs on a regular basis, right? They have kidnapped these people specifically, clearly for the purpose of executing them. They bring them into this barn or whatever and set them up in chairs next to each other, one by one, execute them and doing an odd order at a certain point. And then now they're taking the bodies after executing them in the middle of the barn and putting them somewhere, I guess, more permanent or wherever they're going to take them to. And it's like, why not just kill them in that place or something? Like, what's all this performance about?
If you're just going to tie them to a chair and shoot them, whatever they say, just shoot them next to wherever you're going to bury them. But more importantly than that, put a bit of tarp down on the floor.
Exactly. Yes.
A couple of plastic sheets.
And that along with the like, oh, my gun isn't working. Go fix my gun. It just all like, are they these guys professionals, or is this like kind of their first time doing this? I don't know. So they all have black blood. Are they cyborgs? Is this a surprise genre movie? What?
No, because there was definitely red on their heads.
There's
they're T-1000s.
There's a little bit of red there. I can see some reddish brown in that streak that was left there just now. That's weird.
You've spoiled my theory that they're all T-1000s.
Could be,
because then it would make sense that they would have red on the skin bit.
They're the T1. They're the whatever it's called in the in that terrible Terminator movie, Terminator Genesis. You know how they John Connor becomes a new kind of like liquid metal guy or whatever nano thing. That's what it is. It's got to be that.
You know, you're just the kind of man I'm looking for in this organization.
What?
A man of loyalty. You loyal?
You ever wonder how you're gonna go? Foe.
Hang on.
What the fuck did I miss?
He just said, you're the man, you're just the kind of man I need for this organization, loyal, and then asks him if he's loyal.
What indication is he given that he's loyal?
What's something must have changed that we didn't see, right? That like, why would he just suddenly decide this is the way he's going to go with the conversation now? It's like schizophrenics having a conversation.
This is also like Skyrim, where you're just kind of walking around and then like some guy comes up and tries to make you president of their little club.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like NPC dialogue.
Yeah.
but like,
do you get to the cloud district very often?
Don't tell somebody that they're very loyal and then ask them if they're very loyal, because the chances are he's probably going to say yes.
That's a very astute observation, Ryan. Was that a very astute observation?
Yeah, I mean, I think we do need to adjust our understanding of the location here. This does seem to be a car garage where they work on cars and change oil, and there's an elephant somewhere off screen.
Holy shit! Someone Google if elephant blood is black, because you know.
It's just talking porn. Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but like, I mean, I would argue there's probably I've seen some porn with more artistry, you know.
Black. Oh, it just says Mauler's a hack. So that's what we call a bit in the YouTube game. It's just a little bit.
Friend. Family. Not just a rat, but a snake in the grass.
Oof. It's just that's a stupid line. I mean, that's everything to me, in my opinion. Maybe you guys disagree, but like that line is the epitome of all of it, of Mauler.
In England, in secondary school, one of the rhetorical techniques we learn about in English class is called a semantic field. For instance, rat, snake, they're both related. They're both animal words. Therefore, if you use them together, it's clever. So as far as I'm concerned, this is ticking all the boxes.
Okay. Well, I didn't go to fancy British school, so
Not only that, but if I can add an extra layer here, a rat is a part of the Chinese zodiac, coming back to time. A snake eating its tail, the Ouroboros, is also.
Wow. But you know what? The problem with that though is that's all themes, Ryan. That's all themes. You can't. That's not it. You can't apply that. So as we know.
If you want to live, you better give me something. You achieve nothing dying in this hole. Tell me who you work for. What kind of ransom I could get for you. Who knows, I could pull some strings.
I can't think of anything more degrading than working for you.
Why is he bargaining with the guy
Maybe
that he was trying to shoot? What? Hey, it'll probably get explained. It's fine. It'll get explained.
I have seen some of this scene because this is the scene that they primarily show in that behind the scenes video. It's all just one scene, but this moment of the thing.
Did he just pull him off the street? He appears to know nothing.
Who the fuck? Yeah, right. Why does he have him? Was he literally just given a list with 4 names on it and no context whatsoever? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense that the boss is doing the dirty work. I mean, the first rule of being a gangster is you don't get your hands dirty if you're the head of an organization.
So he's the boss.
Maybe this guy is just a goon who likes to dress fancy, and that's why he's such a fucking moron.
But he's talking about recruiting him basically and asking if he's loyal and stuff. So that seems to indicate.
Well, he gets the referral program for like the criminal organization. He actually gets.
He gets $20 per.
You ride on the elephant. Yeah.
Maybe Beefy Ben Kingsley is the genius the whole time.
Oh, like kind of like Saw.
Plot twist,
right?
Kaiser Sose or something.
Biting again. You know, I had a Rottweiler once. Vicious little bastard. My nephews loved him, and he loved them back.
Ugh.
How vicious
the potential in that piece of shit.
The Influx movie.
No, when you can't write dialogue that contradicts the dialogue you've literally just said. Got a Rottweiler, vicious little bastard. The nephews loved him, and he loved them.
Right.
Yeah, it's fine if like they loved him, right? That because they're twisted, because they've got an insane mind. Like you wouldn't last a day inside their twisted mind. But like if the dog loves them back, then he's not a twisted little bastard, really, is he? He's kind of cute and.
Speaking of twisted bastard dog.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm gathering. He's supposed to be Wolverine. This is right. Yes. The thing about it is that, like, the Rogue Elements, the dialogue is also terrible, but it's moving a little bit faster. I guess there's a little bit more, snap to it. There's not as much. Every one of these lines is read as if they have gravitas, as if these characters have gravitas, and we don't know anything enough about them to know to feel that way about them, and they aren't saying anything that.
I'll say this much for Rogue Elements: I never thought I would appreciate a movie not being one scene as much as I do in retrospect now.
Not only that, though, Dane, you also remember that the dialogue in Rogue Elements is supposed to be bad because Critical Drinker knows his audience are too stupid.
Yeah, and it has to be bad so the actress can read it. So,
and that the audience could understand.
These actors were just like he got the fancy actors, so they could only read the fancy lines, and that's probably the reason, I think.
I mean, yeah, this poor bastard right here. Like, well, why is this guy's taking a while to get these bodies out of here? Like, what's he taking? You know what I mean? Like, why are they so far away from the goddamn destination that the bodies are going to go? That he would have to come and get them and drag them so far that he takes like several minutes between each one.
Is he dragging them the whole way as well? Like he didn't think about getting like a wheelbarrow?
Just shoot them next to the hole.
Yeah.
You can walk them to the hole.
Put them in the hole and shoot them. Just like dump them in the hole alive, and then just
now you're innovating.
There you go.
Tell you what, there's a great leadership position for you at this criminal organization I know, and
I'm not loyal.
if I get you the job, they'll even let me ride on the elephant. So,
all right, we are at we're making progress. We are halfway through it. So
When he would stare out at the horizon, no matter how hard he came at you. He'd be growling, snapping. But he loved food and fetch and fucking about. And I figured eventually he would calm down with age, some perspective. Until he bit me.
dogs don't get perspective. That's not the thing dogs do.
Dogs don't. Also, he loved food.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Oh wow. I don't know. I've never seen a dog that loves food before.
Normally dogs hate food.
Right.
Dogs really hate food.
They're
Is that
not
there
known
just so
for.
he could have a lot of F's in a row? Did he wanted some alliteration there? Because his food, fetch, and fucking around.
I mean, you learn that in the same lesson as the semantic field. So he's just
bit of alliteration for the kids.
Say what you will about Mauler, he has his English GCSE.
Yeah, I mean, wow, yikes.
And he bit hard. I gave him one more horizon before the end. I figured if he knew what was coming, he'd behave better than a bloody border collie.
Maybe he took that last horizon as a blessing.
Excuse me.
Do you ever wonder how little time?
How is his whatever this guy's saying right now? How is it not? Do you fucking think dogs are people? You fucking idiot! Like, what?
Do you think the dog was going to think about what he had done and then regret his decision?
I knew
the Ratatouille critic flashback.
I knew that Mauler did not understand people. I knew that, but clearly he also does not understand dogs.
Also, he said he in the hopes that it would behave better than a bloody border collie. Border collies are like the best dogs for that sort of thing. Is
For
that
behavior?
the implication there?
Yeah, I think he's saying that he is saying
that's
that,
like the upper echelon of how the dog.
that he would be such a good, well-behaved dog. He'd be better than the dogs that are famous for being well-behaved dogs.
My mistake. I was misunderstanding that line.
It's okay. There's a lot going on here. It's easy to get tripped up.
But also his approach to dog training is to do no training. And when the dog bites him, to tell the dog, think on.
Yeah, you know what though?
Consider what you've done.
Let me ask you guys, why are they talking about this though? Why is this?
What do you mean? We're halfway into the movie. Obviously, the dog flashback is going to be a pivotal kind of. It's sort of the Chekhov's gun, really.
Chekhov's dog.
Yeah.
Mauler's
dog. Another symbol of the Chinese zodiac. As is
Another
snake,
animal.
actually.
Yes.
Snake.
Yeah.
Elephant.
We see
rat.
you, Callum, putting these animal
themes
teases in
trying
here.
to sneak them themes past us.
Don't call them themes. He doesn't like that.
You have left.
Do you ever wonder how little time you don't?
How little time does an animal have? A rat, snake, dog.
Oh shit! He brought it all together.
Chinese zodiac,
dude.
Chinese zodiac.
He did bring it together. You got to give him that, right? Like I did not see that coming. Actually, I didn't.
Oh my god! He named all the animals.
How are they going to get the other 9 animals?
In case, because he also knows his audience is kind of fucking stupid, and he needed to spell.
It's animal bingo now, though. He's got to get the other 9 animals of the Chinese zodiac in before the end of this. Otherwise,
That's why we started with the shot of the farm to set it up naturally.
Oh.
Yeah,
they're all just all chilling right out of frame.
Elephant too,
Are you just getting more comfortable killing me?
Do I look uncomfortable to you?
You look tired. Tired of the world you've made and the debt it's collecting.
Is he supposed to be Jesus?
That elephant is really not happy.
He's Jesus because he talks about what his dad created. This big empire, everything. He's Jesus. I'm not talking about Jason Fleming now. I'm talking
Sacrifice.
About
oh, okay.
Controlling life and death.
Maybe they're both Jesus.
Water, very symbolic with Jesus. That was wine when they started. I guarantee it.
You know, I'm not unreasonable.
Okay.
So why has he been like cool as a cucumber the whole time, and then he's like,
I'm not unreasonable.
What's that about?
It doesn't make any sense, right? Like,
it's just like a cool moment. So there's a cool moment in the film where he's like kick the chair because that's what cool guys do.
They both seem like to be just constantly in flux with their attitudes and how they feel and what their intentions are. Just
So I'll let you go if you tell me who you work for.
I can't.
Why did you take this job?
Austin Powers has ruined that line. Who do you work for?
Who does number two
Who's
work
number
for?
2 work for?
Yeah.
This is like a fucking blind date. Neither of these guys know a damn thing about the other one. How are they in the same room?
I mean, so okay, the question you just asked was something about this job. What job? Getting kidnapped? Is that the job? What are you talking about? What if I'd love to know just a smidgen about what the fuck this guy is here for. Just anything.
Like, it's fine if you're gonna do the thing where it's like starting in media res of this kind of tropey situation of the execution gone wrong. But then, like, if we're already in the middle, then these guys need to know the start because they didn't start 9 minutes ago. They started, hours ago, days ago, perhaps.
This is someone that he has gone out of his way to fucking kidnap and with the intention of executing, and he like seems to know next to nothing about him except that I guess he was doing. Was he a rat? He said he was a rat, right? Like he's a rat. So it's kind of a rat situation, I guess. He was ratting on something. I
thought the rat was a metaphor.
Yeah, I don't think the rat meant that he was a
rat. So what the fuck did he do? Why is he? It's okay. So we know he's asking him if he's loyal as well. Like I kind of want to go back and I'm not going to do this, but I mean I kind of want to go back and just like start taking notes of like the things that we can glean from what's been said so far and see what can we put together.
The only thing I've gleaned is that Jason Fleming knew his father. That's the only bit of information that.
This seems to be. Well, I mean, he might have lied about that too.
He might have lied about that, but then the details meant that he at least knew of the father. He knew who the father was. So.
And so that tells us that this guy inherited his mob business from his father or something, or maybe he works for his father still.
Yeah, something like that.
We're trying, Mauler. We're trying.
Westminster.
Ah, the gas. Snitch deserved it.
And what did the parish deserve?
That gas killed on exposure. They died well, all things considered. Besides, the city now has a real god to pray to.
So some people got killed in what, like a execution with some poison gas. Is that right?
Where he's to the beginning of the bit we just watched, and maybe like a couple of seconds before, because that's like a massive left turn.
Well, it seems like maybe important information. So,
just feels like a little bit late in the game to be getting the kind of necessary inciting incident sort of facts. I don't know.
I'm not unreasonable. So I'll let you go if you tell me who you work for.
You'll meet them soon enough.
Why did you take this job?
Westminster.
Ah, the gas. Snitch deserved it.
And what did the parish deserve?
That gas killed on exposure. They died well.
What is Westminster? Isn't that the dog thing? The dog show thing?
In the US, yeah. It's the area around the Houses of Parliament here, but it can't be a reference to that. Westminster's like what we call the government. It's a nickname for the government, basically, because they work at the Palace of Westminster.
So that'd be like saying going to DC or something.
Yeah, it's like if you're with saying Washington.
Right.
Yeah. Which can't be. Because they talk about the parish.
He's some sort of political assassin. Maybe he's killed like a rogue MP that was not replying to, people not getting their bins picked up. Or something.
Wait, is this a political thing?
Well,
probably
News
not,
to me if
'cause
it is. But then
politics
it
is
says
woke.
the
So-
gas killed the whole parish, which is like
No, he said
the whole
I.
village.
God, who knows?
Yeah, is he talking about the Abbey?
Well, yeah, Westminster Abbey is in the palace. Is part of the. Is in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Generally, if you give a one sentence reply like that, like this is either taking place 1 week after a much publicized terrorist attack on Westminster Abbey, or he's talking about the government. He's saying it's the government.
I see.
Well, all things considered. Besides,
let's listen to
Meet
it
them
again.
soon enough.
why did you take this job?
Westminster.
Ah, the gas. Snitch deserved it.
And what did the parish deserve?
That gas killed on exposure.
So what is the parish reference?
Well, a parish is just like in olden.
It's like he's
times,
saying the
referred to
town.
It's like a district.
Yeah, it's like a local. Yeah,
a
like
small
a local.
small village, yeah, or a town. Yeah, it's basically
Okay.
anyone that goes to.
I mean, that's what I understood it too. Is I just want to make sure I wasn't.
Yeah, no, you're not missing anything.
Okay.
They died well, all things considered. Besides,
So, what did he say? Snitch deserved just one person was the target there, and yet
Yeah.
a bunch of people died.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they gassed a whole village of people to kill an informant.
Several people. Apparently so. The snitch deserved it, but then everybody else, they just died well. So it's like, yeah, omelet, break some eggs kind of thing.
the city now has a real god to pray to.
The reward was far too tempting.
Ah, for all the talk, you're still a money man at heart. How much of that cash are you willing to part with to save your own skin?
I don't need saving.
No. You are very close to dead, my friend. I'm the only thing standing in the way. So, start begging. Start acting like a man before I slit your fucking throat.
Why didn't you use your subordinate's gun?
You are joking. My gun has taken more people than the plague. It ain't about to stop now.
This guy's a
Besides-
Mauler self-insert.
Yeah.
What? It's things like that. Why did he say ain't? It's not part of his vernacular from everything we've heard. It's something like that I butt up against. Because he's not using.
He said ain't?
Well, ain't's
Yeah.
what gangsters say, and this guy's a gangster, so.
Yeah, despite all of the
Yeah.
colourful language that he's used so far and the proper speech, to slip in an ain't there, not for like, not intentionally. It's just weird. Also, if he's just Fleming knows that he's not going to just slit his throat because he made such a fuss over the gun.
True. I mean,
so he's not. He shouldn't
and
be-
what a weird, just kind of really stupid fucking characteristic for a mobster to have. It's like, I only like killing people with my gun. Like it's got to be my gun. It's killed so many people.
Well, yeah, but then he's pulled out a cutthroat razor, which again is
Right.
is not necessarily what you use to slit somebody's throat with, unless you're Sweeney Todd. Traditionally, it's not very.
I do want to hear that line, read that delivery again whenever he said that, because it's kind of interesting.
They should kiss.
Start acting like a man before I slit your fucking throat.
It sounds like he kind of forgot what he was supposed to say almost, and then he's like, it came back to him in a moment, but it's weird.
Why didn't you use your subordinate's gun?
You are joking. My gun has taken more people than the plague. It ain't about to stop now. Besides, it was my father's.
Your father's legacy ends with you.
Daddy Issues and Animal Lists, the movie.
Yeah. And once again, see, now that we're learning a little bit more about this guy, the mobster guy, he's killed a lot of people. He's just killed so many people. And
More
yet,
than the plague, so like over a third of Europe. That's probably why they're in the abandoned car garage.
yeah. But I mean, so that and then you think about once again, why is he talking to this guy? Why is he spending so much time if he's high up in this organization? What fucking
There's
reason?
got to be some sort of ruse, yeah. He's playing the long game.
I'm doubling down on my theory that this is supposed to be he's supposed to be Jesus, Jason Fleming's the devil, and his father's God, and this is some sort of remake of the Last Temptation of Christ.
Sounds cool. I mean, that sounds hopefully that's what it is. I mean, I would give it 2 thumbs up.
Or possibly this is Revelation, and the 4 people sitting on the chairs were the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
But they died instantly. So like, how does that?
Because Jesus defeats them after Armageddon.
Okay.
So Armageddon's happened.
Was the other guy is that the Antichrist or who's that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
The Antichrist hasn't shown up yet. That's
Gun fixed, bud. Why did he do that? Why did he do that? He didn't do that for anybody else. Why doing it for this guy? Look, okay, maybe this is a thing that the guy does every time he kills people. There's always one that he chooses to kind of just like toy with, like he's a cat caught a little mouse or something. He's gonna fuck with him. So they just have this. They have this unspoken thing that they do. Yeah,
or an elephant.
Another interpretation, a possibility. I'm sticking with my Jesus theory, but he could also be like a cat in human form because he hates rats, snakes, and dogs.
Oh,
wow. I think that's just I'm looking at it for my backup theory. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh no! What happens when he's out of water?
The water's a metaphor for how much time this guy's got left. It's like a sand timer thingy.
You're right.
That's actually really advanced. Yeah, that's actually kind of.
See, I was taking it as just like that's how much time until we get to stop watching this. But you're right. I think it actually probably does mean that.
If he showed this to like a professor at a university, they'd probably be, like give him the prize for like this is better than Ulysses. This is better than. This is actually probably like the smartest movie or like piece of fiction generally.
It's really high level.
This is breaking some new ground.
High level shit here. And wow, I did not realize that Jason Fleming was that much shorter than the other guy.
He must be huge though, because
Jason Fleming seems like
looks even shorter when they're in the 3 shots. So tiny henchman could be Ben Kingsley.
He's gonna let him go.
You're a smart guy. Resourceful.
Is he?
Strong. I feel like I'm letting myself live.
I understand.
I don't.
Hey.
Hey.
You didn't flinch when the gun jammed. Why?
What a good time.
Hey, they said the title.
He said the thing.
Wait, keep it on pause. Keep it on pause. Keep it on pause. The henchman is actually this guy's buddy, and he did something to the main guy's gun. Right. Right.
Makes sense. Why he didn't flinch? Yeah.
Turn the tables.
Yeah. We'll see how it plays out here. We're in the home stretch. Oh.
I would like to formally retract my last theory.
All theories seem to be out the window at this point. Wow, didn't see that coming at all. One bit. Why is that supposed to be a clock sound? Because it sounds like a gun.
It's like a mixture of the gun and the clock for like thematic reasons, which are bad.
Yeah.
Inevitable.
So
he's got a teabag him.
He's gonna assault him. I'm sorry. No, I have seen
this is not Halo 3.
I did see this moment. I skimmed forward to just kind of see, what I could see, and I did see something that caught my attention. That was what happens here. It's kind of Like what? Yeah.
But
Oh, God.
But
He didn't finish his water.
what?
Because none of us know how much time we have left.
Oh,
I've
all
got
in
bigger
good time.
questions than
Oh
that.
my god.
Yeah. So presumably, this guy got himself captured as like a suicide mission because he knew that when he had some of the gas implanted in his brain or something. So when Guy shoots him, then it kills Guy, right?
Right. Whenever he said they mentioned the poison gas like 2 minutes ago in the runtime, and so
9 minutes passed talking about rats and shit. Then the goes, hey, something happened with some gas maybe, and then like
I will say this: I didn't expect to have much of an understanding of what had happened when it was all over, and I think you're right. I think that's what was being.
That's what they were going for, but like, you know what I think back to? A video I made earlier this year where I'm talking about the way Mauler and his good buddy Critical Drinker are kind of criticizing the Rian Johnson film Wake Up Dead Man, right?
Yeah.
And they are wrong to say this because they have not understood the mystery. But their big thing they keep harping on is like, there are so many easier ways they could have done this murder.
Yeah.
There are so many easier ways this motherfucker could have
killed the guy. Yeah.
Why get yourself shot? If you've
So
got the
let's think
facility,
about this.
if you're so able to predict exactly what's going to happen,
Yes.
to get yourself captured, Joker style, hey, because he's cool, because he's a cool guy in a movie, and say a cool line about how it's all going to be revealed after you're dead, then like clearly you have more control of the situation than the guy who doesn't know who the fuck you are.
He knew that.
Why was this the plan?
He knew he would get.
'Cause it was the plan.
Captured. He knew that he would get captured, but he would not be searched.
No.
Um.
And so the guy would shoot him in precisely that way. Can we scrub back to like the kill shot? Because like, where is this gas hidden?
It seemed
Or did
like
he flick a thing?
upper
Did he
body
like bite a trigger in his like in his tooth to like trigger it?
Because the gas comes out the top of his shirt, which all right.
And I do also want to point out how this guy continues
Like
to
a dead man switch or something.
The gas has started coming out pretty heavily by the time, like, I mean, he keeps going. Like,
If I shoot a motherfucker and he starts emitting fucking Joker gas, you know my ass is leaving the car.
fucking running, dude. Yeah, this is
what I mean.
Oh,
Yeah, he just bends in for that sniff.
So it seemed to come out of his shirt collar, right?
Yeah, so presumably some sort of dead man switch.
Let's yeah. It looks like it comes out the back of his collar, but is that a practicality thing of that's where they hid the gas, the smoke bomb?
Oh
Is
yeah,
it
yeah.
supposed to be coming out of the hole that he just shot in the back of his head?
Is it like a Kevin? Is it like a was it Kevin Bacon in getting his neck arrow through his neck kind of situation, where they just kind of made the best of the shot they got?
I'm saying this guy knows he's going to be bagged and he knows he's going to be black bagged, and the guy's going to shoot him, and he needs to gas him. So if I'm this guy, I'm probably putting together some sort of thing that I can kind of zhuzh up from underneath my collar to go underneath the hood, like as sort of like a gas mask type of thing to go over my nose and mouth. Then I'm activating the kill gas, and then I'm standing up and I'm sauntering out of this garage like I don't have a care in the world. Plot hole, maybe.
I mean, I still don't understand what happened. Where did the gas come from? Why is there gas? Why didn't he use the gas earlier?
Because the gas is bad, you know.
Yeah, like if he's fine with dying to like gas kill this guy, then like probably activate it when the guy is like kind of stood right over you, trying to give you like a skin fade. You know what I mean?
Right. This only works in that. Yes. What if you just shot him and then walked away?
Yeah. What if
Like,
the guy's gun didn't jam? Which like
what if he
clearly we're
wasn't a
learning
fucking
now.
moron, and he did. You know.
So there's
Why
no
would-
indication that the gun jam was the point. So let's circle back to at the start. Why did he skip this guy? if the gun jam was not planned by Mr. Fart Sniffer at the top, he thought it was a smart fella. Turns out he's a fart smeller. If the gun jam was not planned by him, then A, why does he skip the guy? That breaks the movie entirely from the beginning. B, why doesn't he, fucking kill him in some other way if there wasn't a negotiation tactic? C, yeah, like the plan, how this was supposed to go was motherfucker gets shot like from a bit more of a distance. Guy sees gas coming out of his shirt because he's like stood across the room from him. He walks out, and all in good time, everyone goes home and has a nice cup of tea.
Well, and then also, let's think about the fact that he's reaching down there because he hears something going on in there, and it's like, why would you do that? Why? This guy's a fucking mobster who's killed lots of people. He's fucking clearly
more than the plague.
Yeah, a streetwise motherfucker. Like, there's no logical reason for him to be bending down to see, maybe this is something friendly for me. Maybe this is just something cool and a new surprise that I get whenever
he dropped some loot. Yeah, he dropped some loot. He dropped a rare item.
And then, I almost would feel better if this wasn't bad. Because then I would be like, hey, you know what? Look, I can be wrong. It's halfway okay. But like, I feel like of course, it's just going to be seen as we're by his audience or them, that like we're just shitting on this because it's them. I
saw a Reddit post earlier, just happenstance. I wasn't looking for it, on Saltier Than Crate, about this movie, and some guy in the comments said something like, I'm not going to watch this. I'm just going to wait till Anthony Gramuglia or Pillar of Garbage makes a YouTube video about it. And I was there thinking like, oh man, is this how predictable people think I am? But like, I didn't have the idea to make a video about this. Kind of because I'd got the sense from just hearing what people have been saying that it wasn't very good. And I just didn't want to be nasty, I kind of felt a sense of pity. Like, obviously, these guys, Mauler and his buddies, would do this to me without a question. Arguably, that's what they did when they EFAP'd me, in a sense. But like, it just feels like punching down too much if I made a video kind of doing what we've done here.
So here's a post.
It was mean.
I don't know if this is one you saw, but this is from Salty and Crate. Mauler's bad film, a review. Shillcast is the flair there. Hi, I'm some random guy. I watched Mauler's new film. Here's my review because I need to get my thoughts about this film out with people who are more in tune with this side of the internet. Because I have 3 pages worth of thoughts. And 3 pages, huh? That's more than I think was written about this fucking movie, the short film. So let's see. Too long, didn't read. It's boring, bad in the film series to be memory hold by Mauler as of writing this. I'm just kind of trying to skim and see if they basically saw the same issues we did.
While you're doing that, just like 99% of this is just sort of, I can see what he's trying to do. It's an attempt at some sort of like high dialogue that doesn't really work because Mauler's not a particularly clever writer, but he thinks he is. And if it had just been that, because at the start I was just looking for anything, just sort of looking to pick holes in anything, just for the fun of it, but it was just kind of dull and boring. 2 people talking and not saying anything, which, I mean, it gets you around the worries about plot holes or contrivances, I guess. If you just end up saying nothing, you don't have to worry about inconsistencies. So objectively, you couldn't possibly call this bad because nothing happens.
Right. Well, I mean,
except for the things that happen and are bad.
Bizarrely,
but objectively.
The more these guys spoke and exchanged dialogue, I knew them, understood their characters less. Because there was everything was I don't want to say out of character because that was characters never established.
They enter as types
foundation,
and the dialogue shows us that we're wrong to view them as those types, but it doesn't fill in what they are necessarily.
Did he genuinely write this ending, or is this something the director suggested? Because it's incomprehensible.
I'm assuming it is. I mean,
it's the only way that No, I was going to say it's the only way that it makes a semblance of sense, but it doesn't. You know, it doesn't explain why it starts in the way it does and why these characters interact with the way they do.
Because if it's me,
honestly, Rogue Elements is better than this. I'm going to say it. I'm going to fucking say it. At least there's some, you know, shoot and gun action, even if, you know, there are problems.
We get to see Critical Drinker get shot in that one. So Mauler kind of missed
and the girl that you blamed the whole movie on is actually really good. I thought she was the best part.
Yeah, she was pretty good.
Well, that's, you know, look, I will get Mauler.
I like the
Mauler
other woman. I think the other woman was good.
Mauler said, look, I'm going to have a girl in my movie, but we're just going to shoot her immediately and get her the fuck out of there because I don't want her ruining my shit. You know,
don't want her messing up a line.
Right.
But I just don't know.
Rewrite the dialogue on this.
If this was me, and I know perhaps it's a bit cliched, but I would have cut to black when he pulls the gun up to his head and have the shot fired in darkness. So
yeah, it's implied that maybe something else is going on.
Yeah, so it looks for all intents and purposes like he just shot him in the back of the head, but we'll never know for certain. At least that's
a better ending than this because, like, that's potentially good, and this is definitively bad.
Where's that smoke coming from? That is going to bother me now.
I genuinely think it must be like a dead man switch. Like he's gone in there to get some revenge or something.
So as soon as his heart stops, it goes off.
Yeah, it must be.
So you guys want to watch now the 13.0 edit of Rogue Elements?
Is it shorter?
It's 32 minutes and 48 seconds.
This is probably a good time for me actually to dip out.
Yeah, I'm not going to be on much longer either. I gotta get doing some famous stuff.
But this was fantastic. This was lovely.
I mean, look, I can't help but, like I was saying earlier in Discord to somebody, I was like, I don't know. Did he do any kind of like enter any writing competitions in school? Did he share his writing with other people and kind of get it critiqued? Or, like, this does feel like somebody who just never ever has been said, hey, you need to work on this thing. This.
Yeah, and it's the hubris as well. Like,
yeah,
I've tried to write fiction, not too much because I don't really have the time. But like, am I publishing it in any way? No, of course not, because it's bad, and you have to be bad before you get good. But like, if you think you're hot shit and you know how stories work, and you've got a kind of inflated self of you know, ego in that way.
They're very anti-intellectual in that they're proud that none of them has ever done a course in film studies or
it's like anti-expertise. It's the idea that anyone can do it,
which makes a lot of sense why they have such a conservative, you know, tinged audience, and why they hang out with, you know, clear conservative and far right chuds. Because
I assume that goes for script writing as well. Like, there's obviously no formal training, and it doesn't even look as if he's read a book on screenwriting. I mean,
yeah. I mean, think of the hubris of being like, I don't know anything officially. I haven't learned anything from like any kind of a source that understands film or studied or anything like that, or screenwriting. But I have decided that the logical through line of a story, of a script, is the most important thing, and basically nothing else matters as long as that, you know, like it's.
And you can see elements of that in this film, like, you know, these two motherfuckers are about to die and they're like asking each other to explain the plot holes. Like, why did your gun jam? Why did you not flinch? Like, this is another thing that I came across when I was making this Wake Up Breadman video, but like also I have always encountered in all of like Mauler and his buddies' attempts at film criticism is like they think that the function of a character is to be the maximally kind of intelligent and self-aware, like examiner of their own existence, like in the context of a film narrative. And like that's not how characters work at all.
Is whenever they were so that whole issue between them and their former friend of theirs, they were watching that Terriers show. And I think that was what it was, but I don't remember if that was for sure it, but it was something they'd watched, and there was a character that was like a kind of a career criminal or whatever, and he had broken into somebody's house, and then I think it was, trying to remember, it might be a little bit off details from memory, but it was like the guy he left something. I think it was either got caught sneaking into somebody's house or whatever that he wasn't supposed to, or he left something that then led to, you know, them knowing that he was there. And they nitpicked that, saying that like, well, this guy's he's a career criminal. He's like, this is what he does. How can you, you know, that's unrealistic. That wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? And it's like they don't account for human beings being human beings.
Yeah.
It's really weird considering how much they hate the idea of a Mary Sue, that you can't have a character that is perfect in every way and then criticize every character who isn't perfect in every way.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And you can't say that about this film because the characters had no character. They didn't do anything.
Yeah, they were all kind of like quasi Mary Sue's in the like. Yeah, they were the very self aware of what was going on, but also in the same breath they had no awareness of what was going on outside of the the 18 minutes. Of
it turns out that the one guy actually he was the only one that knew what was going on, and the other guy didn't know shit, and that cost him his life. Except the other guy, he also died. So like,
and that means he wins.
Right. He died.
He wins the movie.
So he wins? I don't know. It just
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that's a dedication to revenge. Is like you don't even care to see it through. I don't know. There's something there maybe, but I don't know, man. It's not good.
Also, if that guy gassed a whole parish, as they say, which we're taking to mean more than a few people,
how did the guy know about it?
Well,
how do you know it was him?
Not only that, but how does this gas work? Because that gas seemed very targeted.
Yeah, was it like a dance at the village hall? Like, was it? What situation are you in where an entire parish is gathered? That has probably not happened since like the 1300s.
Maybe it was I don't know, in one of those police call boxes.
It was the school nativity. Everyone was. Fuck, I don't know. I'm gonna go. It's bedtime for me. This was great. I'll see you guys later.
Oh my! Hold on. Before you go, Killer, I just want to point this out. We're suffering from the dummy Kruger effect. This according to this person. So go deal with that. All right.
All right. I'm gonna go and perform like
Pillar of Garbage. Thank you, man, for being on.
What's the thing? What's it called where you hit yourself in the head a bunch of times?
Bone smashing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some bone smashing and maybe hopefully I'll not have the dummy Kruger effect. I'll see you guys.
Later, man. Have a good one.
Later. Yeah, there's nothing quite like the dummy Kruger effect.
The dummy Kruger effect is you're right, man. I think we are suffering from that, and thank you for pointing that out. I will admit that it's been a kind of an ailment in my life here and there over the years. I'm just very glad that I haven't had the semi-related Dunning-Kruger effect. I haven't had any of that.
No. Luckily, I think the dummy Kruger effect inoculates you against the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Right. Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna go and get some food and stuff like that. But
one last thing on this. We're not gonna have time to look through the reviews, so that's a shame. But was it gas just because it's cheaper than explosion?
Almost certainly. And look, okay, you know what? I will give him a small little bit of praise here. The script was written with the budget in mind.
Yeah.
And that's something you got to do. You got to write a script that's you can't, and of course we don't know. Maybe he did write something where it was like a bunch of big action sequences or something, and somebody was like, "We don't have the money for that, Mauler. You got to rewrite." We don't know, but yeah, it's crazy, man. What were you gonna say? What did you say a minute ago?
It's just we're not going to have time to look at the reviews on Letterboxd, so we
can do that. Actually, we'll do that real quick. I've got a. So
yeah, my only thinking for the reason why it's gas specifically at the end rather than anything else, and then that's sort of starting at the end because to mention the gas then towards the end sort of puts that in people's minds rather than just saying you killed a village of people just to get to one snitch, which is the more economical way of doing it rather than introducing magic gas that doesn't actually exist in the real world. Only to bring the gas back at the end it would be cheaper than him having a bomb.
So this review, it's kind of a long review is why I didn't commit to reading it, but it does seem to share almost the exact same issues that we had. So you might be able to call that something like objective. So many questions. Let's start with how did a man get captured, black bagged, tied up, but not strip searched for any weapon or wire? I'm not a fan of ding plot hole criticism, as this film's problems are not that. But how does this situation occur? Did the mafia guys not check to see if the people they were killing for being rats, aka potentially working for police who like using telecommunication to spy on people. They're investigating like mob boss, have a wire. There's a big problem with the final section, and it's with the edit. We cut from the bodies on the floor to a clock, and then pan to a large gas canister outside before cutting to black for a scenery shot and into the film. Is this the implication by the edit? Is that after a certain time, gas was released from the canister, and this is what killed Mafia Man? Jesus. I didn't notice that. Did you?
I didn't notice that either.
This is what the language of the edit is suggesting. Yeah, I mean, if that's what it shows, then that does kind of indicate that you don't put these three things together without some implied connection between them. That's not what happened. Okay, so then, but are we also implying that the gas mechanism was timed, hence the clock and the line in all in good time, which is the hostage's last words? That implies time is a pretty important factor in the hostages playing with the gas, not just an on-death trigger effect. But if it was timed, then the entire film requires so much coincidence that it's not funny. Yeah. So
it couldn't. There's no way it could have been timed, because there's no way that Jason Fleming's character, Mr. Man, would have known exactly how long he had. So it couldn't have been timed unless he had read the script before, like Spaceballs.
So all these circles I'm making now is to show how unfocused the script is. Yes, yes. This is a bit of a motif during this film. There's talk of how long animals live for. The characters say inevitable a few times. It's in the title and all the BTS video and the director's channel. A stagehand, whoever makes a joke where they say time a lot and then say, "Did I mention time enough?" So even on set, it became a running joke. But the time, well, he wasn't there, so the time motif doesn't really fit into the plot, both thematically, plot structure wise, or in the backstories of the character. So the plot revolves around the mafia guy's dad dying, him taking up the lead, and okay, so that is a thing that I guess we learned. Maybe I'm too stupid. But yeah, okay, but fine. How is time involved? How is mentioning the lifespans of snakes, blah blah blah? Because he's Long Man. God damn it! Like, what? He's the Long Man. That's why.
Yeah, I don't know what time had to do with it at all as a theme. It's so heavily pushed as a theme. Like you said about the sort of the drinking of the water. I mean, our earliest clocks were water clocks. The clock, the actual clock, the ticking, the gun noises.
I create stuff all the time, and actually, yeah. So what you're saying here could apply to Mauler all prior to this, and then this is his big debut.
So every single video that Mauler has made on his channel before this film came out is completely worthless. Absolute dogshit worthless, and should not be regarded at all.
And also, Mauler is not black, I don't think.
No.
Is it? What are you saying? Because we criticized a black guy, we're ists? Do you understand anything about anything ever, or should I just ban you? I think I'll just ban you.
It's ban him, because there was no other black guy.
I don't know what color you are or aren't or whatever. It doesn't have anything to do with it, but you kind of suck. So.
Yeah, not a very good troll.
Does he think a theme is just maybe this is him growing and saying, you know what, themes do matter. This theme is about time. I'm going to mention time a lot. I'm going to have a clock. There's going to be time. He's going to talk about inevitability and time. It's going to be great.
Maybe this is 5D chess, and he's made something completely incomprehensible with a shit ending to point out that all films are in fact incomprehensible with shit endings.
Oh, so like maybe this is Mauler's attempt to undermine the very medium of film, with just by saying, "Look, does anything mean anything?" You know what I mean? Like
essentially, he's the syndrome of movie criticism. If everything is shit, then nothing is shit.
Right.
So everything.
That sounds pretty kind of subjective, or even postmodernist, actually. Yeah, film is poorly written. Most of the glaring problem has nothing as nothing happens in this film. Yes, two guys are sitting and they both die, but there are three story beats over the 15 minutes with just a bunch of exposition in the middle. How does Mauler drinkers sell the film? Well, they don't because they already got paid for it. They were paid to make this. And I'm willing to bet. Didn't they get like a few $100,000 for this one or something like that? Or was this? No, this was like a bonus that got triggered whenever they hit a certain milestone.
No, this was always part of the plan. The plan was
Okay.
always that the funding would cover Drinkers Rogue Element sequel, which I'm really looking forward to, Mauler's film, and then a fan written film.
Oh, the fan written film, that ought to be fantastic. You know what? It'd be kind of amazing if it was actually way better than the other ones.
I mean, it's got to be, hasn't it? But then again, if you're Mauler and Critical Drinker, are you going to pick a script that's better than yours and produce a film that's better than yours?
Right. Yeah.
Or are you going to make it dog shit and say,
maybe they didn't think that through?
See, not that easy, is it?
So look, I think the thing that we see over and over again, whether it's Eric July or Drinker or this, is when you're, and Morgan was kind of quibbling with me about this in Discord earlier, and that's fine. It's not really a kind of statement that you can back up or anything, but like, it seems to me that when you're approaching from like your foundation of making a piece of art is about spite or envy or just like, basically spite. Which I think it's pretty clear that all three of these examples they start from, even if this wasn't made directly out of spite, that's what that's kind of the whole point, right? Like they shit on things, and then now finally here's opportunity to say, here's what I'm going to show you what it's really what a good movie is or whatever, good dialogue, and it's not good. It actually shows a fucking in every one of these cases that these are the last people that should be criticizing things and being taken so seriously. They fundamentally do not understand the mediums which they engage in. They don't understand writing. They don't understand. And I mean, this is all subjective. It's not like I'm saying that you. There's just basic things. For instance, with Eric July too. So whenever he was asked about what is what was it that what's his name asked him, what are the three acts or whatever, he asked him something like that, and he was like, you mean like the first three issues of the comic? He like doesn't understand a very basic structure of a script and what implied. Yeah.
And this is the thing I've always said about their view of art, is that there are rules to art. They definitely are. And what they've done is they've taken one of the rules, EFAP at least, to the extreme, in that a story has to be a logical sequence of events. But what they don't understand, because they don't understand all the rules, is that all the rules in art can be and are bent and broken by talented artists. Yep. So the famous Picasso quote comparing his earlier paintings, which were very naturalistic, to his later ones is, I didn't learn to paint until I was in my 50s or whatever the exact quote is. He's saying that he learned all the rules, and if he wanted to, he could produce realistic art that looked like what it was supposed to. But because he knew the rules, he could also break them and achieve more profound results. And
let's think about,
they just don't get.
Let's think about the Chris Stuckman of it all, right? Chris Stuckman, who they have railed against and been pretty goddamn shitty about, and were really fucking crappy about his decision to, whatever you may think of it. They really zeroed in on his decision to stop reviewing things that he didn't like at all. And I on one hand understand where he's coming from with that, but I also understand a little bit of why he would get some backlash from that too. Nonetheless, it's, from what I understand, I haven't seen his movie, but it at least is a coherent story. And there's some decent acting in it, and stuff like that. The main thing that I think I remember when it came out that I saw as criticism was that it's just pretty derivative in some couple of different ways. But I did also see that as far as just on a basic filmmaking level, it goes from being a kind of found footage at one point into traditional kind of horror movie, and it does that very well in like a pretty kind of seamless kind of way. If that's the case, like I said, I haven't seen it, then that's cool. And that shows some level of understanding of, filmmaking. And this just doesn't. I mean, of course, he didn't make this film; he wrote it. But if he was such a, I will say that the performers didn't do terribly or anything. The two main guys did fine. The Bob guy is a little bit weird. Kind of a couple of different deliveries that were kind of but like for the most part, they're fine. I think that it was definitely shot in a way that picked up the action, quote unquote action, the way that it needed to. You saw everything that was going on. You know what I mean? But that's all. Like the things that are good about it, like I said, are despite the story, despite the script, which is not fucking good. Anyway.
Yeah, and going back to what I was saying about the way we see the guy drag the bodies out, because in order for it to make sense logically, that's something you have to show if you want to show that the bodies are then taken out. Because the ending is so incomprehensible and the dialogue is so incomprehensible, and it seems to attempt to be some sort of super or subnatural or
yeah.
So,
like there's something there, and then that kind of gets revealed to not be that, right? Like,
well, yes, or does it, or like is there an element because of the heightened nature of it, because it's non-naturalistic? If those bodies had just disappeared, I can't help thinking it would have just added to that. Like, because at some points I thought, is this supposed to be set in the future? There were a couple of moments, a couple of things they said where I thought, is this supposed to be set in the future? Is it somewhere not on Earth, or is it?
Wait,
something...
what happened? I don't get that at all. What are you?
There was just a couple of lines towards the end where they talk about what's happened, and it sort of gives the sense of some sort of
like there's lore that we don't know anything about. That
besides the magic gas, which again
well,
I
also
can live with because
Buff Ben Kingsley. Why didn't he? Where was he at? Right.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him.
I would assume that Buff Ben Kingsley had something to do with those gassings at the parish too. But I guess that's the downfall of his plan is he doesn't know for sure that everybody's going to bend over and sniff him.
Yes.
Man, what a piece of shit. This was fun. Mauler, make some more movies, man. Write some more. If people are going to fund them anymore, we'll see. But I'd be down to watch some more. It's entertaining in not the way that you intended.
Well, there's always his story that he did for Eric July.
Yes. As soon as I can get my hands on that without giving Eric July a cent, then I will damn sure cover that. If anybody knows or has a way to access that Saints and Sinners shit, let me know.
Because I do wonder as well, did he write that with the intention of it being incomprehensible in order to sort of try and be intellectual? Is it sort of pseudo-intellectualism where he's trying to say that this sort of elevated dialogue is meant to sound like that, or can he just not write?
I think it's.
Does he?
I think those are the same thing, right? Like I think it's kind of the same thing. He thought he was writing really cool elevated dialogue. You could tell that every time they would say some quip back at the other one that didn't convey anything, and in fact only confused the situation a little bit more. I think that I can imagine him just going, "Fuck yeah, that's a fucking good." You know what I mean? Like he thinks that he's making something cool happen. It's. What about Amazing Fantasy number 15? What's that? Is that a bus or something? What is that? It's wow. Oh, check this out real quick.
It looks like to have all of the released Epstein files in one place, more than 3.5 million pages printed and bound into books inside the Donald J. Trump and Jeffrey Epstein Memorial Reading Room.
DOJ didn't follow the law, right? They failed to redact names and identifying information of survivors and victims, and they did redact names of co-conspirators. So each of these is about 5 pounds. If you take all 3,437 volumes, it weighs about 17,000 pounds. So if we read for 24 hours and we cover 2 pages a minute, we will read about 3 of these books. This much, this, and this. That's 24 hours of reading. So in order to get through all of these books...
Yeah, Vegas World Pod. I know. I was making a joke that I also didn't understand what Amazing Fantasy 15 was. I get you.
Wait, Spider-Man debuted in Amazing Fantasy 15? I haven't heard about this.
You would think it would be
I'm a huge
Spider-Man
comic
number
fan.
1, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
That's how it goes. Batman was introduced in Batman 1. Superman was introduced in Superman 1.
We didn't get Time Man's character motivations. That's Time Man. And then what was the other guy? I don't know. Come up with a good villain name for the other guy.
I'm gonna need the audience to help me out here, but there's got to be something to do with him drinking that water.
Well, I was gonna say the Dog Understander would be a good name for him. You know,
there's got to be something to do with the drinker part of it.
Oh, yeah. Boss Agua, you know.
We would need to read for more than a year. What we wanted to do in the middle of all of this evidence of crime.
Clearly, just Waterman.
Maybe Time Guy and Waterman, the new superhero team coming to our screens. Time Guy
Clock
and
King versus the Drinker. That sounds a little bit too cool, actually.
Yeah.
Waterman, Waterman versus Time Man. That's where it's at.
Provide a way for us to think about and center the victims. We have 1,400 points of light, one to represent each one of the victims and survivors. We put together these 3 times.
You know, it's just worth mentioning because, first of all, the fucking very impressive feat that this guy has put together with this, but also we just, we don't need to forget about the whole Epstein thing. That's definitely what certain folks want. So that clip I was showing at the beginning of the stream, that was Peter Thiel talking to Joe Rogan and stuff. That was from a while back, obviously from before anything was released. But I think it's notable how Peter Thiel's like, there's not really anything going on with the sex stuff. That's kind of overdone. Talked about, there's not really anything there. So it's like, but we know that that's not true. And then it makes you wonder, well, what is Peter Thiel hiding by trying to hide with that?
Yeah, those 1,400 people were not sexually assaulted by no one.
He is notably known partially for he was closeted and then outed against his will by Gawker back in the day, which is why he did crusade against them. So I mean, that indicates that there's precedent established for him being very hush hush about his whatever he's into privately, which is understandable. I mean, if you're just don't want to share that stuff, I guess, whatever. But like if you're maybe diddling kids, maybe that's not okay. I don't know. No proof of that. Just notable that he's so certain that it's over. It's overdone talking about all that sex stuff with Epstein. Don't even worry about it. Look over there. It's kind of the same thing as Trump, right? We're like, oh, you still talking about Epstein? That guy, like, well, he's been dead for. Who even knows who that is or what he was up to? Nobody cares. Yeah. Mega Man Robot Masters. Yep. Well, that's fun. And I wish, Bob Cass and others could have been here. Hopefully they will get around to watching it. Maybe I can put together a compilation of people reacting to it. If nothing else.
Or they could save themselves the trouble and just not bother because that was worthless.
You could just watch our stream.
I mean, I think the point's been made about Rogue Elements being better because at least it was funny bad.
True.
It was just so stupid. This is just so bland and uninspiring. I mean, I used to watch a lot of short films in my youth because they used to be on TV late at night all the time. And like Guy Ritchie made one called The Hard Case, which was basically a little bit of what he put into Lock, Stock.
Yeah.
And it's not brilliant.
Hold on, real quick. Was there any music in that movie? Like in that, for sure, like throughout the runtime, was there any music going on? I don't think there was.
Well, there was a little bit at the beginning that you said sounded like Dark
Sure.
Knight.
But then, no, that's it. That was just the same music at the beginning and the end. In between, there was nothing. That's crazy. Weird choice. You know, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a filmmaker. I'm not sitting here pretending to be one. I just know that that's objectively a bad short film. All right. Ryan, nothing but media. Subscribe to him if you're not. Subscribe to whatever channel you're watching on, and you know, be sure to check out Bob Chaos, Organized Chaos. Check out Eric Bunks. Check out, you know, all the folks that we generally hang out with. We're all cool people. We like to have a good time. And I will probably be having a good time on Friday. I'm probably going to be talking about maybe the boys a little bit more. I might do some investigating to see what I can see about the kinds of people that are kind of railing against the boys right now. I definitely feel there's an inorganic element to it. Not to say it's all inorganic, but there's something going on. It's kind of weird. Yeah. Do you watch the boys? No.
No, I never got into it. I had a couple of the comics back in the day, and I didn't really enjoy it. So I didn't.
Well, I mean, the comics the show is objectively better in my opinion. In my opinion, it's objectively like the show is classier. They removed some of a lot of the shock that Garth Ennis does just for shock value, and you know it maintains the spirit while not doing any of the overt homophobia and just like misogyny kind of stuff that the comics did, which is good. I like the boys finale as well. I thought it was pretty solid. You know, could have been some stuff here and there that maybe better, but overall, I think every character ended up where they should have. Homelander definitely it was worth it. You know, to see how that played out. You know, I've never seen a villain offering to suck a guy's dick or eat his shit in order to not die. But there we go. It happened. He definitely did. See, look, this is what I'm talking about. I'm glad to see people in the wild here like you liked it. If you go look on the Reddit though, it's like Reddit over there. Okay. Yeah. All right. No, Eric Bunks was never fired. That's not a thing. I mean, I'm guessing you're just doing a meme because
I think he's just joking. Yeah.
Okay.
Because regular viewer.
Viewer. No, Eric's not fired. He's just you know, he just doesn't like us anymore. No.
But then that is what we would say if he had been fired, that he's not being fired. So who knows what to believe.
Oh, real quick though, got a couple little drops that I need to do, just kind of get them out of my system. And here's this one.
What's a little genocide between friends?
Miners! Miners!
All right. Thanks for indulging that.